If you've noticed changes in your energy, stamina, or sexual performance after the age of 50, you're not alone. Millions of men experience these changes, and many assume they're simply an unavoidable part of getting older. But what if your body has been sending subtle warning signs long before those changes became obvious? Here's something many people don't realize. An erection is not just about hormones or desire. It's one of the clearest signs that your blood vessels are working the way they should. Healthy circulation allows oxygen-rich blood to reach every organ, including the heart, the brain, and the tissues that depend on strong blood flow for normal function. As we age, those blood vessels naturally become less flexible. Conditions such as high blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, diabetes, smoking, chronic stress, and a sedentary lifestyle can further reduce the ability of blood vessels to widen when the body needs them most. That's why many cardiologists and urologists now encourage men not to ignore persistent erectile problems. In some cases, they can appear years before symptoms of cardiovascular disease become noticeable. While erectile dysfunction has many possible causes, including medication side effects, hormonal changes, nerve disorders, and psychological factors, vascular health is one of the most common contributors. The encouraging news is that daily habits can make a meaningful difference. Regular physical activity, quality sleep, maintaining a healthy weight, managing blood pressure and blood sugar, and eating a balanced diet all support healthier blood vessels. Certain beverages, when included as part of that overall lifestyle, may also help support normal circulation. Today's video explores 3 drinks that have attracted scientific interest for their potential to support blood vessel function and healthy blood flow. These are not miracle cures, and they won't replace medical treatment when it's needed. Instead, think of them as tools that may complement a heart-healthy lifestyle. Before we begin, if you enjoy evidence-based health content designed specifically for adults over 50, consider subscribing. Every week, we break down the latest research into practical, easy-to-understand advice that can help you stay active, independent, and informed. Let's start by understanding why healthy blood flow becomes increasingly important after the age of 50, and why the answer may have less to do with aging itself than with the health of your blood vessels. Before we talk about the first drink, it's important to understand why blood flow changes with age. Once you know what's happening inside your blood vessels, the recommendations you'll hear later will make much more sense. Imagine your circulatory system as an enormous highway network stretching for tens of thousands of miles throughout your body. Every heartbeat sends oxygen-rich blood through this network, delivering nutrients to your brain, your muscles, your kidneys, and every other organ that depends on a steady supply of oxygen. Your blood vessels aren't rigid pipes. They're living, flexible structures, lined with a thin layer of specialized cells called the endothelium. Although it's only 1 cell thick, this lining plays an essential role in regulating circulation. It helps blood vessels relax or tighten, supports smooth blood flow, and contributes to overall cardiovascular health. One of the most important substances produced by these endothelial cells is nitric oxide. Despite its simple name, nitric oxide performs a remarkable job. It signals the smooth muscles surrounding your arteries to relax. When those muscles relax, blood vessels widen, a process known as vasodilation. Wider blood vessels allow blood to move more easily, helping deliver oxygen and nutrients where they're needed. This process supports many normal body functions. During exercise, working muscles need more oxygen. After a meal, the digestive system receives increased blood flow. The brain relies on consistent circulation to function properly, and during sexual arousal, healthy blood flow is essential for achieving and maintaining an erection. In other words, healthy circulation supports the entire body, not just one organ. Unfortunately, this system doesn't always work as efficiently over time. As we age, the endothelium may become less effective at producing and using nitric oxide. Researchers believe this decline can be influenced by several factors, including oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, high blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, insulin resistance, smoking, poor sleep, and a lack of regular physical activity. Genetics also play a role, but lifestyle choices can have a significant impact on vascular health throughout life. Think of a brand new garden hose. Water flows freely because the hose is flexible and unobstructed. Now imagine that same hose after years of wear. It becomes stiffer, develops buildup inside, and doesn't expand as easily when water pressure increases. While our arteries are far more complex than a garden hose, the comparison helps illustrate why aging blood vessels may not respond as efficiently as they once did. This gradual reduction in vascular flexibility can affect many aspects of health. Some people notice they tire more quickly during physical activity. Others experience slower recovery after exercise. Some develop high blood pressure. And for many men, one of the earliest noticeable changes may involve erectile function because the blood vessels involved are especially small and sensitive to changes in circulation. That's one reason healthcare professionals encourage men not to ignore persistent erectile difficulties. They aren't always caused by poor circulation, but in some cases they can be an early clue that the cardiovascular system deserves closer attention. Addressing those symptoms with a healthcare provider may help identify underlying conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, or elevated cholesterol before more serious problems develop. The encouraging news is that blood vessels remain responsive throughout much of life. Research consistently shows that regular aerobic exercise, strength training, maintaining a healthy body weight, controlling blood sugar, managing blood pressure, avoiding tobacco, getting enough sleep, and following a balanced eating pattern can all help support endothelial function. Nutrition is one piece of that larger picture. Certain foods and beverages contain naturally occurring compounds, such as dietary nitrates, polyphenols, and flavonoids, that researchers have studied for their ability to support normal blood vessel function. These compounds don't act like prescription medications, and they won't produce overnight results. Instead, they may contribute to healthier circulation when consumed regularly as part of an overall healthy lifestyle. That's exactly what today's 3 drinks have in common. Each contains naturally occurring nutrients that scientists have investigated for their potential effects on vascular health. While the evidence varies in strength from one beverage to another, all 3 have earned attention because of their possible role in supporting healthy blood flow. So, which drink has been studied for its ability to increase the body's production of nitric oxide? And why do many athletes, heart specialists, and nutrition researchers continue to discuss it? Let's begin with the first drink on our list. It may not be everyone's favorite flavor, but the science behind it has made it one of the most researched beverages for supporting healthy circulation after the age of 50. When most people think about foods that support heart health, they usually picture leafy greens, berries, or salmon. Few immediately think of a deep purple root vegetable that can temporarily stain your hands or even turn your urine or stool pink after you eat it. That vegetable is beetroot, and over the past 2 decades, it has become one of the most extensively studied foods for its potential effects on blood flow and vascular function. The reason is surprisingly simple. Beetroot is naturally rich in dietary nitrates. Although the word nitrate may sound concerning, the nitrates found naturally in vegetables are very different from the preservatives used in processed meats. In vegetables, dietary nitrates are part of a natural cycle that the body can use in beneficial ways. Here's what happens. After you drink beetroot juice, naturally occurring nitrates are absorbed and begin a fascinating journey through your body. Friendly bacteria that normally live on your tongue help convert some of these nitrates into nitrites. Later, under the right conditions, your body can convert those nitrites into nitric oxide, the same signaling molecule we discussed earlier. Remember what nitric oxide does? It tells the muscles surrounding your blood vessels to relax. As those muscles relax, blood vessels can widen more easily, allowing blood to move with less resistance. Better blood vessel function may support healthier circulation throughout the body. This is one reason beetroot juice has attracted attention not only from nutrition scientists, but also from athletes. Some studies suggest that increasing nitric oxide availability may improve the efficiency with which muscles use oxygen during exercise. While the effects vary from person to person, researchers continue to explore its role in endurance and cardiovascular performance. But what about adults over 50? As nitric oxide production naturally becomes less efficient with age, scientists have investigated whether dietary nitrates from foods like beetroot could help support normal vascular function. Several clinical studies have reported modest improvements in measures of endothelial function and blood pressure in some individuals after consuming nitrate-rich beetroot products. However, results are not identical across all studies, and the benefits appear to depend on factors such as age, overall health, dosage, and how consistently the beverage is consumed. It's important to keep those findings in perspective. Beetroot juice is not a treatment for erectile dysfunction, and it should never replace medications or medical care prescribed by your healthcare provider. Erectile dysfunction can result from many different causes, including diabetes, hormonal changes, certain medications, neurological conditions, psychological stress, and cardiovascular disease. A single food or drink cannot address all of those factors. What beetroot juice may do is support one important piece of the puzzle: healthy blood vessel function. Think of it this way. Imagine trying to water a garden using a hose that's become stiff and partially restricted over time. Even if the water pressure is strong, the flow may not be as smooth as it once was. Improving the flexibility and responsiveness of the hose won't solve every gardening problem, but it can help the system work more efficiently. Your arteries are far more sophisticated than a garden hose, but the principle is similar. Supporting the health of your blood vessels may benefit overall circulation, which is important for your heart, brain, muscles, and many other organs. If you'd like to include beetroot juice in your routine, moderation is key. Choose products with no added sugar whenever possible, and pay attention to serving sizes. Some commercially available beetroot drinks contain significant amounts of added sweeteners that can reduce their overall nutritional value. If you have diabetes or are carefully managing your carbohydrate intake, check the nutrition label and discuss appropriate choices with your healthcare provider or a registered dietitian. Another point worth mentioning is something that surprises many first-time beetroot drinkers. After consuming beetroot, some people notice a harmless reddish or pink color in their urine or stool. This condition, known as beeturia, is usually temporary and isn't dangerous for most healthy individuals. However, if you notice blood in your urine or stool and you're unsure of the cause, you should seek prompt medical evaluation rather than assuming it's related to food. People with a history of certain kidney stone types, particularly calcium oxalate stones, should also ask their healthcare provider whether large amounts of beetroot are appropriate, since beets contain naturally occurring oxalates. One final tip that researchers often mention involves your daily oral hygiene routine. Because helpful bacteria on the tongue play a role in converting dietary nitrates into nitrites, using strong antiseptic mouthwashes immediately before or after consuming nitrate-rich foods may reduce that conversion. Good oral hygiene remains important, but this fascinating interaction highlights just how interconnected different parts of the body can be. So, does beetroot juice deserve a place in a heart-healthy lifestyle? For many people, it can be a nutritious addition to a balanced diet. It provides naturally occurring dietary nitrates, along with vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds that researchers continue to study for their cardiovascular benefits. While it isn't a miracle solution, it may help support healthy circulation when combined with regular exercise, quality sleep, a nutritious diet, and the management of conditions such as high blood pressure and diabetes. But beetroot isn't the only drink scientists have investigated. The next beverage on our list comes from a fruit that has symbolized vitality for thousands of years. Modern research suggests its deep red color reflects an impressive concentration of natural antioxidants that may help protect blood vessels from everyday wear and tear. Let's take a closer look at drink number 2, pomegranate juice. If beetroot juice is known for supporting the body's production of nitric oxide, then pomegranate juice has earned attention for a different reason: its remarkable concentration of natural antioxidants. Slice open a ripe pomegranate and you'll find hundreds of jewel-like seeds bursting with a rich crimson color. That vibrant color isn't just beautiful, it comes from naturally occurring plant compounds called polyphenols, including punicalagins and anthocyanins, which scientists have been studying for years because of their potential role in supporting cardiovascular health. Why does this matter? To answer that, we need to introduce another important concept: oxidative stress. Every day, your body produces unstable molecules known as free radicals. In normal amounts, they're a natural part of life. But when free radicals begin to outnumber your body's defenses, they can contribute to oxidative stress, a process that may gradually damage cells, including the delicate endothelial lining inside your blood vessels. Remember the endothelium from the previous section? It's the thin inner lining that helps arteries stay flexible and produce nitric oxide. When this lining doesn't function as well, blood vessels may become become less responsive, making it harder for them to widen efficiently when the body needs increased blood flow. Think of your blood vessels like the inside of a finely polished glass pipe. When the surface is smooth and healthy, blood flows with minimal resistance. Over time, everyday wear, chronic inflammation, smoking, poorly controlled diabetes, and other risk factors can make that environment less favorable. This is where antioxidant-rich foods and beverages have attracted scientific interest. Rather than acting as instant fixes, antioxidants help the body defend itself against oxidative stress. Researchers believe this may help support normal endothelial function, although the exact effects can vary depending on a person's overall health, diet, and lifestyle. Among fruit juices, pomegranate consistently stands out because of its exceptionally high antioxidant content. Over the years, scientists have explored whether regularly consuming pomegranate juice might support healthy blood vessels. Some studies have reported improvements in measures of endothelial function and reductions in markers of oxidative stress in certain groups of participants. Other research has suggested possible benefits for maintaining healthy blood pressure when pomegranate juice is consumed as part of a balanced dietary pattern. It's important to emphasize, however, that research findings are not always identical. Nutrition studies often involve different participant groups, serving sizes, and study durations. While the overall evidence is encouraging, pomegranate juice should be viewed as one component of a heart-healthy lifestyle rather than a standalone solution. So how does this relate to erectile health? Healthy erectile function depends on healthy blood vessels. If oxidative stress contributes to reduced endothelial function over time, then protecting those blood vessels may support the conditions needed for normal circulation. That doesn't mean pomegranate juice treats erectile dysfunction. Instead, it may help support the overall vascular health that contributes to healthy blood flow throughout the body. Another reason pomegranate has become popular is its broader nutritional profile. In addition to polyphenols, it contains vitamin C, potassium, and other naturally occurring plant compounds that fit well into a balanced eating pattern. Many people enjoy it simply because it offers a flavorful alternative to sugary soft drinks while providing beneficial nutrients. But not every bottle on the grocery store shelf is created equal. Some products labeled as pomegranate juice contain only a small percentage of actual pomegranate juice and are blended with apple, grape, or other fruit juices. Others contain added sugars that significantly increase the calorie content. When shopping, look for 100% pomegranate juice with no added sugar whenever possible. Drinking a moderate serving is generally a better choice than consuming very large quantities, since even natural fruit juice contains naturally occurring sugars. If you have diabetes, prediabetes, or are following a carbohydrate-controlled eating plan, it's wise to discuss appropriate serving sizes with your healthcare provider or a registered dietitian. There's another important consideration that many people don't realize. Pomegranate juice may interact with certain medications by affecting the way the body processes them. Although these interactions are less well established than those associated with grapefruit, some experts recommend discussing regular pomegranate consumption with your healthcare provider if you take prescription medications, especially those used for blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood thinning. This is a good reminder that natural doesn't always mean risk-free. Even healthy foods can have important considerations depending on your medical history. Perhaps the biggest lesson from the research on pomegranate is this: good vascular health isn't built in a single day. Every healthy choice, whether it's taking a brisk walk, choosing water over soda, eating more vegetables, managing your blood pressure, or enjoying an antioxidant-rich beverage, acts like another small investment in the long-term health of your arteries. These small decisions may seem insignificant on their own, but over months and years, they can add up to meaningful improvements in overall cardiovascular wellness. Now, we've explored 2 drinks that support blood vessel health through different mechanisms. The first helps provide the building blocks for nitric oxide production. The second helps protect the blood vessels themselves through powerful natural antioxidants. But the third drink may surprise you. Millions of people already enjoy it every morning without realizing that its natural compounds have also been studied for their potential effects on circulation, endothelial function, and long-term heart health. Let's see why green tea has become one of the most researched beverages in the world and why it earns the final place on today's list. For our third and final drink, we're not turning to an exotic superfood or an expensive supplement. Instead, we're looking at a beverage that has been enjoyed for thousands of years and is now one of the most extensively researched drinks in the world. That drink is green tea. For many people, green tea is simply a comforting morning ritual, but behind its mild flavor lies a fascinating combination of naturally occurring plant compounds that scientists have been studying for decades. The stars of the show are a group of antioxidants called catechins, especially one known as EGCG, short for epigallocatechin gallate. While the name sounds complicated, its potential role is easier to understand. Remember the endothelium, the thin inner lining of your blood vessels we discussed earlier? Healthy endothelial cells help produce nitric oxide, regulate blood vessel tone, and keep blood flowing smoothly. As we age, oxidative stress and chronic inflammation can make these cells less efficient. Researchers believe the catechins in green tea may help support endothelial health by reducing oxidative stress and promoting normal blood vessel function. Although scientists are still learning exactly how these compounds work, the overall body of evidence suggests that regularly drinking green tea may contribute to better cardiovascular health when it's part of a balanced lifestyle. Notice the key word: regularly. 1 cup of green tea isn't likely to transform your circulation overnight. The greatest benefits observed in research tend to come from consistent long-term habits, not quick fixes. That's an important lesson that applies to almost every aspect of healthy aging. Many people spend years looking for a miracle food, a miracle supplement, or a miracle drink. Yet the strongest scientific evidence continues to point towards something much less exciting, but far more reliable. Small, healthy choices repeated day after day. Green tea fits perfectly into that philosophy. Unlike sugary beverages that can contribute excess calories and blood sugar spikes, unsweetened green tea provides hydration along with naturally occurring bioactive compounds. Replacing sugar-sweetened drinks with green tea may itself be a positive step for overall health. Researchers have also explored green tea's relationship with several aspects of cardiovascular wellness. Some studies suggest it may help support healthy blood pressure, improve certain markers of vascular function, and contribute to healthy cholesterol levels when combined with an overall heart-healthy lifestyle. Population studies have also found that people who regularly consume tea often have favorable long-term cardiovascular outcomes, although these studies cannot prove that tea alone is responsible. People who drink green tea may also engage in other healthy behaviors, such as exercising more or eating a balanced diet. This highlights an important principle in nutrition science. No single food or beverage works in isolation. Instead, your daily habits interact with one another. Think of your health like building a house. Exercise lays part of the foundation. Sleep strengthens the walls. Stress management reinforces the structure. A balanced diet provides the framework. Healthy drinks like green tea don't build the house by themselves, but they can become another solid brick supporting the entire structure. What about erectile health? Just as with beetroot juice and pomegranate juice, green tea should not be viewed as a treatment for erectile dysfunction. However, because healthy erectile function depends heavily on healthy blood vessels, anything that supports long-term cardiovascular wellness may also help maintain the conditions necessary for healthy circulation. It's also worth remembering that erections involve much more than blood flow alone. Hormones, nerve function, emotional well-being, medication use, sleep quality, physical fitness, and chronic medical conditions all play important roles. That's why persistent erectile dysfunction deserves a proper medical evaluation rather than self-treatment with supplements or internet remedies. When choosing green tea, simplicity is often best. Plain, unsweetened green tea provides the beneficial compounds without unnecessary added sugar. Many bottled green tea drinks sold in convenience stores contain large amounts of added sugar and only small quantities of actual tea. Reading the nutrition label can help you choose products that align with your health goals. If you're sensitive to caffeine, consider drinking green tea earlier in the day to avoid interfering with sleep. Another option is decaffeinated green tea, which still contains many beneficial plant compounds, although the exact levels may vary depending on how it's processed. Moderation is also important. Very high-dose green tea extracts sold as supplements have occasionally been linked to liver injury in susceptible individuals. Drinking brewed green tea, however, is generally considered safe for most healthy adults when consumed in reasonable amounts. So let's pause and look at what we've learned so far. Each of today's 3 drinks supports vascular health in a different way. Beetroot juice provides natural dietary nitrates that the body can convert into nitric oxide, helping support healthy blood vessel function. Pomegranate juice delivers powerful polyphenols that may help protect the endothelium from oxidative stress. Green tea supplies catechins that researchers continue to study for their potential role in supporting healthy circulation and cardiovascular wellness. None of these beverages is a miracle cure. None can reverse years of unhealthy habits, and none should replace medical treatment for erectile dysfunction or cardiovascular disease. But together, they illustrate an encouraging truth. The choices you make every day can influence the health of your blood vessels far more than many people realize. In fact, the drinks themselves may be only a small part of the story. There are 6 everyday habits that often have an even greater impact on blood flow than any beverage ever could. Some cost nothing, require no special equipment, and are supported by decades of scientific research. Let's explore those next, because this is where healthy aging truly begins. If you've watched this far, you may have noticed a common theme. Every drink we've discussed today supports the same destination: healthier blood vessels. But here's something that often gets overlooked. Even the healthiest drink can't overcome unhealthy daily habits. Imagine filling your car with premium fuel while never changing the oil, ignoring the warning lights, and skipping routine maintenance. The fuel may be excellent, but the engine still won't perform at its best. Your cardiovascular system works in much the same way. The 3 drinks we've covered can be valuable additions to a healthy lifestyle, but the habits you're about to learn often have a much greater impact on blood flow, heart health, and erectile function over the long term. Let's begin with a habit that consistently ranks near the top of the list. Habit number 1. Move your body every day. Your blood vessels are designed for movement. Every time you take a brisk walk, ride a bicycle, swim, or even climb a flight of stairs, your heart pumps faster to meet your muscles' increased demand for oxygen. That increase in blood flow places gentle stress on the inner lining of your arteries, encouraging healthy endothelial function over time. You don't have to become a marathon runner. Research consistently shows that regular, moderate physical activity, such as a brisk 30-minute walk most days of the week, can support cardiovascular health, help manage blood pressure, improve blood sugar control, and contribute to healthier circulation. If you've been inactive, start slowly. Even 10-minute walks after meals can be a meaningful first step. As always, if you have heart disease or other medical conditions, consult your healthcare provider before beginning a new exercise program. Habit number 2, protect your blood pressure. High blood pressure is often called the silent killer because it can damage blood vessels for years without causing noticeable symptoms. Imagine constantly running water through a garden hose at extremely high pressure. Over time, the hose begins to weaken. Your arteries experience something similar. Persistently elevated blood pressure places extra strain on the delicate endothelial lining, reducing its ability to function normally. That's why keeping blood pressure within a healthy range is one of the most effective ways to protect long-term vascular health. Regular monitoring, reducing excess sodium, staying physically active, maintaining a healthy weight, limiting excessive alcohol, and taking prescribed medications when needed all play important roles. Habit number 3, keep blood sugar under control. Blood sugar doesn't just affect diabetes. Over many years, consistently elevated glucose levels can damage small blood vessels and nerves throughout the body. This is one reason erectile dysfunction is more common among men with poorly controlled diabetes. Healthy eating, regular exercise, weight management, and following your healthcare provider's treatment plan can all help reduce that risk. Even if you haven't been diagnosed with diabetes, routine medical checkups can identify pre-diabetes early when lifestyle changes are often most effective. Habit number 4, prioritize sleep. Many people underestimate how closely sleep and circulation are connected. During healthy sleep, your body performs countless repair and recovery processes. Hormones are regulated, inflammation is better controlled, and your cardiovascular system has an opportunity to recover from the demands of the day. Poor sleep, especially when it becomes chronic, has been associated with higher blood pressure, insulin resistance, weight gain, and increased cardiovascular risk. One condition deserves special attention: obstructive sleep apnea. This common disorder causes repeated interruptions in breathing during sleep, reducing oxygen levels and placing significant stress on the heart and blood vessels. Loud snoring, excessive daytime fatigue, and witness pauses in breathing are important signs to discuss with a healthcare provider. Treating sleep apnea may improve overall health and, in some individuals, may also improve erectile function. Habit number 5, stop smoking and avoid tobacco. If there's one habit that consistently harms blood vessels, it's smoking. smoking. The chemicals in tobacco smoke damage the endothelial lining, reduce nitric oxide availability, increase inflammation, and accelerate the narrowing of arteries. The effects don't stop at the heart. Because the arteries involved in erectile function are relatively small, they may show signs of vascular damage earlier than larger arteries elsewhere in the body. The encouraging news is that quitting smoking begins to benefit your cardiovascular system almost immediately. While recovery takes time, the body has a remarkable ability to heal once the source of damage is removed. If quitting has been difficult, remember that you don't have to do it alone. Healthcare providers can recommend counseling, medications, and other evidence-based strategies that significantly improve success rates. Habit number 6, maintain a healthy weight and eat a heart-healthy diet. Excess body weight, particularly around the abdomen, is associated with higher rates of high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, inflammation, and metabolic syndrome. All of these can affect blood vessel health. Instead of focusing on restrictive diets, many experts encourage sustainable eating patterns. Fill your plate with vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, nuts, seeds, and lean sources of protein. Choose healthy fats from foods such as olive oil, avocados, and oily fish when appropriate. Limit ultra-processed foods, sugary drinks, and excessive amounts of saturated fat. Notice that today's 3 drinks fit naturally into this broader picture. They're not replacing healthy eating, they're becoming part of it. The bigger picture. Now let's connect everything we've learned. Imagine 2 men, both 60 years old. The first drinks beetroot juice every morning but spends most of the day sitting, smokes regularly, sleeps only 5 hours each night, rarely exercises, and ignores his high blood pressure. The second occasionally enjoys green tea or pomegranate juice, walks 30 minutes most days, manages his diabetes, gets 7 to 8 hours of sleep, doesn't smoke, and follows his treatment plan with his healthcare provider. Who is more likely to have healthier blood vessels? The answer is clear. The beverages can help support a healthy lifestyle, but they cannot replace the lifestyle itself. That's one of the most important messages in modern preventive medicine. Small choices, repeated consistently, often matter far more than dramatic changes that last only a few weeks. And there's one more critical point every man over 50 should know. Sometimes, changes in erectile function are not simply a normal part of aging. In some cases, they can be one of the body's earliest warning signs that something more serious is affecting the cardiovascular system. Understanding when to seek medical attention could make a life-changing difference. Let's talk about that in our final section. Throughout this video, we've talked about healthy drinks, blood vessels, nitric oxide, antioxidants, and daily habits that support circulation. But before we finish, there's one message that may be even more important than everything we've discussed so far. Never ignore persistent changes in erectile function. Many men feel embarrassed to bring up the subject. Some assume it's simply part of getting older. Others hope the problem will go away on its own. And many turn first to supplements or online remedies instead of talking with a healthcare professional. While occasional difficulties are common and can happen because of stress, fatigue, relationship concerns, poor sleep, or temporary illness, persistent erectile dysfunction should not be dismissed as just aging. One reason is simple anatomy. The arteries that supply blood to the penis are much smaller than the coronary arteries that supply blood to the heart. Because they're smaller, they may begin showing the effects of reduced blood flow earlier. Think of it like your home's plumbing. If tiny pipes begin to clog, you'll often notice problems there before you notice issues in the larger main water line. The same principle can apply inside the body. For some men, erectile dysfunction may become one of the earliest visible signs that the cardiovascular system deserves closer attention. This doesn't mean every man with erectile dysfunction has heart disease. Far from it. There are many possible causes. Hormonal changes, such as low testosterone in some individuals, can contribute. Certain medications, including some used to treat high blood pressure, depression, or prostate conditions, may affect sexual function. Diabetes can damage both blood vessels and nerves. Neurological disorders may interfere with the signals required for an erection. Anxiety, depression, chronic stress, and relationship difficulties can also play significant roles. Often, more than one factor is involved at the same time. That's why proper evaluation is so important. Instead of guessing or relying on products that promise unrealistic results, a healthcare provider can help identify the underlying cause and recommend evidence-based treatment options. During an evaluation, your clinician may review your medical history, current medications, blood pressure, cholesterol levels, blood blood sugar, lifestyle habits, and, when appropriate, order blood tests to look for hormonal or metabolic conditions. Sometimes, improving overall cardiovascular health is the first step. Sometimes, adjusting a medication solves the problem. Sometimes, counseling helps reduce stress or performance anxiety. And in other cases, prescription treatments may be appropriate. The key message is this: the right treatment depends on the right diagnosis. Now let's return to the 3 drinks we discussed today. Can beetroot juice, pomegranate juice, or green tea support healthy blood flow? Research suggests they may support vascular health as part of a balanced diet and an overall healthy lifestyle. Can they cure erectile dysfunction? No. Current scientific evidence does not support making that claim. And any product that promises to reverse erectile dysfunction overnight, restore youthful performance instantly, or replace prescription medication naturally should be viewed with healthy skepticism. In medicine, if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Real improvements in vascular health are built gradually. They're the result of consistent healthy habits practiced over months and years, not overnight transformations. The encouraging news is that it's never too late to start supporting your cardiovascular health. Studies have shown that people can improve important risk factors at almost any age by making sustainable lifestyle changes. A daily walk, better sleep, quitting smoking, managing blood pressure, keeping blood sugar under control, choosing more whole foods, replacing sugary drinks with healthier options. These may seem like small decisions, but together they create a healthier environment for your blood vessels and for your entire body. So before we close, let's quickly summarize today's key takeaways. Drink number 1, beetroot juice, which provides natural dietary nitrates that the body can convert into nitric oxide, helping support healthy blood vessel function. Drink number 2, pomegranate juice, rich in polyphenols that may help protect the endothelium from oxidative stress. Drink number 3, green tea, a source of catechins that researchers continue to study for their potential role in supporting cardiovascular and vascular health. Remember, these beverages are supportive tools, not medical treatments. Their greatest value comes when they're combined with regular exercise, nutritious eating, quality sleep, maintaining a healthy weight, avoiding tobacco, and working with your healthcare provider to manage conditions such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or diabetes. Healthy aging isn't about finding a miracle cure. It's about making informed decisions, one day at a time. Every healthy meal, every walk around the neighborhood, every good night's sleep, every routine checkup. These small actions may not feel dramatic today, but over the years, they can become some of the most powerful investments you ever make in your future health. Thank you for spending this time with us. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing for more evidence-based health content designed specifically for adults over 50. We explore practical strategies that can help you stay active, independent, and informed without hype, fear, or false promises. And if there's someone in your life who might benefit from learning more about healthy blood flow and cardiovascular wellness, consider sharing this video with them. Until next time, take good care of yourself, and remember, protecting your heart often means protecting far more than your heart.